Power is something that can be held but not controlled.
Without divulging details, do you not want to say what the charges were? Because I don't want to ask. I mean,
I went to court. They gave me 40 years. You think because you're in the hood, you know people. You really don't know them. You know their habits. You know what they're capable of doing. But you really don't know them as individuals.
And you did 2.5 years, almost 3 years. That's not heard of.
We came from a family from hustlers and business owners. So it gave me an opportunity to have both worlds.
500 years of slavery, Reconstruction, Jim Crow, mass incarceration, right?
Keep going.
You know what I'm saying? Sure. Then it's redlining, right? Gentrification, police brutality, then it's domestic terrorism, aka KKK. Like there's so much that even
on you.
Right, on you.
Well, people don't like you. You don't want to be political, but you know, because of Trump, I'm a private foundation. You make for profit. So that's what keeps us afloat.
Crime is married to what?
Welcome to Crime Pays, the #1 self-development podcast for formerly incarcerated men and women and their families. We help you talk. We talk to you. Welcome to Crime Pays, the #1 self-development podcast for formerly incarcerated men and women and their families. We talk to people that have been behind the wall and teach you how they are thriving beyond the wall. I am Ash Cash, the financial motivator.
I'm Jay White, first name, last name. And the crazy thing is, I need to say I'm Jay White, first name, last name, the something.
The something. Look.
Because you got the financial motivator.
Ash Cash, the financial motivator. The hip-hop financial advisor. You know what I'm saying?
Don't worry about it. I'm
the king of government contracting.
The #1 king of federal government Yeah.
You feel me? You feel me?
Yo, I think we got so much energy right now.
Yes.
Because we got femininity.
Absolutely.
Right over here.
Absolutely.
Energy.
We got the queen.
You feel me?
In the building. Miss Connie, how are you?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
I'm doing well. We appreciate you being here because, you know, for us, you know, when we started this show, our goal is to, you know, really highlight, you know, those who have had some trials and tribulations in their lives, but those who, despite those trials and tribulations, came back and are doing amazing things. And our goal is to inspire, to motivate, to use, you know, people's stories in their lives as, you know, inspiration. And, you know, when I heard your story, I was intrigued. Because and again, I don't, you know, I'm a guy who grew up in the streets, but I don't glorify street stuff. But it, you know, I it's not easy, right? And so for someone to be successful in the streets is a, you know, it's a big feat. But then also to transfer those skills, to be able to say, all right, I'm going to use these skills to build a thriving enterprise afterwards. It's equally as intriguing. And so want to dive into your story, but just to start off, who is Connie Nunnally?
Well, Connie Nunnally was born, mostly raised in Savannah, Georgia. I come from a family of, when you say street, came from a family from hustlers and business owners.
Okay.
So it gave me an opportunity to have both worlds.
Yeah.
I started a young lady. I had my first daughter when I was really young.
Mm-hmm.
I made a decision that I would never be on welfare or, you know, live in the projects. Not saying it's a bad thing.
I'm from the projects. No, I'm just
not saying it's a bad thing, but you know, you have to have goals, and I get that from my grandparents.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you have to have goals. When I said hustlers and business people, well, my grandfather, he came from New York, and he came to Savannah. Married my grandmother. My grandfather,
was he from Harlem in New York? He had to be from Harlem. Yeah,
all of the New York people come down south anyway.
Yeah, but you know, I mean, if you're a hustler, I'm from Harlem, though, that's what I'm saying. If you're a hustler, he had to be.
That's what he's trying to get.
I'm just trying to say he had to be. Not because sometimes when people say New York, I just, you know, you got upstate, you got Brooklyn.
You distinguishing.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that everybody know that for years and years and years, Harlem has been the home of the hustlers, right? Detroit Red.
I heard.
Malcolm X came to where? He went to Harlem. I'm sorry.
Well, my grandfather, you know, my family to this day had a lot of information about my grandparents' family. So when we came to Savannah, they secluded us from them, literally. My grandfather, that they had bootleg houses where they sell alcohol there. And my grandmother owned a restaurant club. So it was like a, you know, and they kept our family close knit.
Yeah, for sure.
Know, who came from my grandmother and grandfather, that's who we knew. Anyone else, we was not.
Yeah.
My son went and did some history for us, and, you know, later on that closed in the gap.
Yeah.
I'm a mother of 5.
Okay.
My oldest daughter's a nurse. My son is an engineer.
Nice.
My baby daughter's a master cosmetologist. So when I got incarcerated, that was a major blow to my children.
Around what time frame was this when you got?
This was in 2018.
Okay.
This was not too long ago.
Okay.
I've always, like I said, I started when I had my daughter. I was young. I came to Atlanta, went to Job Corps, took up HBI.
And how old were you when you had your first daughter?
I'm 17.
Okay.
Took up HBI, Home Builders Institute, became a general contractor. Went back to Savannah, been self-employed since I was about 19, 20.
Nice.
Raised my children. And in that concept of coming from both places, and one of your questionnaires, you asked me how I got to this point. Well, I got to that point because when you come from that type of family, when money seems to be short and you are an entrepreneur, you're going to come up with resources.
Yeah. We solution based.
Absolutely.
Yes,
You know what I'm saying?
Very, very. So I've took my business. I've had script clubs, owned script clubs in Statesboro, different type of businesses. I invested.
You was hiring the strippers too?
Of course.
You should have been my business partner back then.
Stayed in construction, bought houses. Kind of got into, because of the neighborhoods that everyone who's familiar with me and I'm familiar with them with, kind of got in. That's how I kind of got caught up into what you call the system of when trying to take care of my whole neighborhood, end up becoming a problem in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
And that's a whole nother story. But I got incarcerated in 2018. When I got incarcerated, it was very devastating to my children, which that would be the far-fetched thing they think their mother would ever be involved in, but it was always going on that they did not know. You know, so we're going to be honest, because this is how we're going to get people to understand that, you know, this is not the end.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, when you it's an inner battle yourself when you're surrounded by people that you trust, people that you look at as mentors, and they're wonderful people and they're doing the same thing. You know, so you can get caught up by, believe it or not, I did, by helping my neighborhood, different neighborhoods. Everyone in Savannah knows Miss Connie. I've owned a lot of rooming houses and house people forever who are unfortunate. And in my construction, I had a construction company for 24 years. And I had a lot of major contracts. So, and I always hire our people from urban areas who cannot get jobs and things like that. In those terms, that's how you kind of got caught up in, you know, you say you think you're helping, but you're tremendously hurting at the same time.
Do you want, let me ask you this. without divulging details, do you not want to say what the charges were? Because I don't want to ask. You feel me?
Well,
Like,
you can. If everybody, my name is Connie Nunley, so they're gonna look up.
they
the
gonna
charges.
Google it. I mean, for the people that don't like to Google, if you want to say,
you're
say
gonna
it. Not.
see that picture with that blonde hair. Yeah, the charges was drugs.
All right.
I went to court. They gave me 40 years. And
wait, hold on.
40?
40.
Woo.
But I knew, knowing me, Miss Connie,
Yeah.
that was not going to happen.
Yeah.
So, I kept scribing, knowing the most important thing to me in my life is mostly my children, but my family.
Yeah.
And I am the core of my family.
Yeah.
I'm the strength. So, I knew that could not happen.
Yeah.
So, going back to the story, but while I'm incarcerated, I made a decision. This is not going to end, and wherever I'm at, I'm going to achieve.
Go ahead.
Being incarcerated, you're when you're the high player, you think because you're in the hood, you know people. You really don't know them. You know their habits.
Yeah.
You know what they're capable of doing, but you really don't know them as individuals.
Right. Yeah.
And when I got incarcerated, it gave us, we're all equal. So it gave you more time to talk and listen to what each individual person problem was. And see, that's what the biggest problem with most of our programs. They collect, they'll have a program and they'll say, okay, this is good for you. DHR, stop you from drugs, so on, this and this and that. But everybody's different. We are individuals.
Yes.
We have different concepts of how we want to live. We learn differently. So you can't just put one program on someone and say this is going to change your life.
Agreed.
You can give them the opportunity to add that to their life, but you need to give them a concept that they can go by and say, okay, this is me. This is where I'm going to strive from, and this is what I'm going to do in my life that's positive.
Yeah.
So while I was incarcerated, the state representative, Mr. Carl Gilliard, would come in and he would had conflict resolution, and I would listen to the girls individually, saying this, they want to do this, not this happened and this happened. So one day I came out and I joined conflict resolution, and from that point on I said, well, this is a good opportunity for me to make a change.
Yeah.
Not only for myself but for others.
Yeah.
I started my business plan there of having a nonprofit that
centered around, what is it? The business plan centered around?
Centered around giving people a better chance of life to go for their goals, for their dreams, not just to get them a job, to get them comfortable of living. You know what I'm saying? Comfortable living every day, working to live, So, while I was incarcerated, I talked to the girls, each one of them individually, listening to them, what was going on with their life. Like I said, I wrote up my nonprofit, went to the sheriff while I was in the county jail and told him, hey, I want to do your floors. And I want to take a couple of girls to teach them how to do the floors. So we script the floor. I script the floors, did the floors. That's the best the floors ever been. The sheriff himself came down. Everybody came to see. They said the floors are like candy.
And you had that skill through your construction company before you got incarcerated. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
Then they had different programs like the doggy program. We would paint different rooms in sections that never happened before.
Yeah.
From that point on, the sheriff started supporting me. The county commissioners started supporting me. That started shortening up my time.
Yeah.
I got sent to prison. Did the same thing.
Yeah.
Started talking to the girls. My first questionnaire was, what do you love about? Tell me 10 things you love about yourself. And believe it or not, that is the most difficult question for a person to answer.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask you, tell me 10 good things you love.
10 things I love about myself. I'm handsome. I have a great personality. I always look at life from a positive perspective. Very resourceful. So if somebody, if there's a problem, I'm usually the first person to go to because I'm very resourceful. I am handsome. No, sorry. Ooh, that's 4. Number. I put God first. I'm very loyal, family oriented. So my family comes first, but I'm also a very loyal friend. I am physically strong, so I have I think I have a supernatural strength, so I'm physically strong. Whew.
See my point?
What number you on?
I'm on 7. Ooh, and look, I was gonna try to I was gonna give you 3 more.
You're a good host.
Yes. Yep.
You bring to people. Bring people together to make a change.
Yes.
But see how difficult. See how difficult that question is.
Yeah.
And some girls literally start crying.
Yeah.
Literally crying. They couldn't get the concept of like, I'm really not, one with myself. And when they realize that they were the one that is really responsible for themselves, and they don't see that, especially when you're incarcerated, especially when you're living in the world and going through the systems, not only incarceration, but the system, working, different things like that. You're somewhat feel like the government has to take care of you.
Especially from a systemic perspective, because I know specifically as a Black woman, there are a lot of systems that are put into place that negatively affect the Black woman.
Yes.
That the government tries to, because even when we think about incarceration and mass incarceration, what that did for the Black family, right? Took the male out, majority males out the household, and it was the woman who had to hold things down, right? It was the woman who, when you think about public assistance and welfare and things of that nature,
you can't have your husband.
You can't have your husband, right? And so now there's almost like this system that is putting all this weight on Black women's shoulders, not to forget that in a time where you have music constantly degrading our women, right? You have movies degrading, and you have all of this negative views. Now you have these stereotypes of Black women being angry, and so now you have all these things working against Black women. So obviously when they get to a space, specifically you get incarcerated, you add that component to it.
It's fire.
Wow.
Like really, it's fire.
Yeah.
But you have to take, the whole goal is when you're helping people, you have to first start within them. You have to make them solid. You can't just offer someone something. I can offer you $10 million. That doesn't mean you're not going to be broke next month.
Blow it tonight.
Exactly.
Right.
So you want to give them the opportunity to come up with a plan that you can work with them with. Study giving them a plan. Tell me what you want to do, and that's what we do at my nonprofit.
And did you? So a couple of things, right? Is like you were incarcerated as an adult.
Yes.
Right. And, as an adult, you
40s.
had, right, in your 40s.
First time.
Right. First time. Right. And have children. So the impact of that, when you were incarcerated, did you feel sort of like responsible, meaning that, all right, now I'm here, and a lot of these girls could be my children, and so I have a responsibility to be a leader. Did you kind of feel that way? Hey, look, I know you're enjoying the show, but if you're formerly incarcerated or have a family member who was and wants to learn how to thrive beyond the wall, you have to join Crime Pays Nation.
Crime Pays Academy is open right now. Click the link, then get back to the show. Hurry up.
Yes, because I've always been in that position in my family. And with my children. So, and I'm a fighter, and I'm very strong when it comes to reality. I stay in reality. I keep myself a reality check, and I come with facts. And once you stay in reality and stay with the facts, you can fight your own demons.
Sure.
So while I'm in there, I started, like I say, teaching the girls construction. I did that while I was in the county jail. I got sent to prison, did the same thing. Stayed to myself, stayed in my leadership. like I said, well, you know, when you're from the streets, you don't play.
Yeah.
So a lot of people, when you be in
Oh, wait, hold on. You just said that. Wait. Look.
But hold on. The crazy thing is, she's so soft spoken.
No, but did you catch that?
But then the eye, and then the boom. It was like,
look,
from the
when
street.
she just said that though, right there.
The shoulders drop like bop.
Right.
You don't play.
Cause we from the streets.
Like, yeah, we.
So when you
just
said that just now, there was an energy. That was a power energy that I just felt just now.
Yeah.
I didn't know if you caught that.
I definitely caught it.
Okay.
So look, Miss Connie, I can call you Miss Connie?
Yes.
What I want to do is this, right? I want to take you back a little bit more, because obviously you did what you did in the county when you went to prison, which was become a leader, teach these women construction, helping them do self-reflection, self-awareness, right? Prior to that, I want to ask you, how are you in this position? Why are you even here, right? We know the charges, but why? How?
Yeah, I want details too, because they gave you 40.
Yeah, what was going on that you felt necessary to be around or involved to have yourself in this position?
Well, like I say, I'm a leader, and most of the time, when you be let's say this, when you're self-employed, and for one, my uncle was a civil rights leader. His name was John Saxon Pierce. They call him Piccolo.
Okay.
He's in our museum down there in Savannah. So like I had a lot of different, you know, connections and learnings and different opportunities to engulf our Black neighborhood, what it needs, you know. So during the time, like I said, I'm doing construction and different things like that. And having that background from my grandparents, my family, you know, I've already made a name for myself of being stern in my business.
Okay.
You know, so and my tolerance level was very low. Like I said, you have to work on your own demons.
Yeah,
you know?
for sure.
And most men in Savannah knew that I was what people would call not necessarily Afro-female. And it's a lot of men in Savannah who was in position knew that I was not the one to come across my territory and hurt anyone who were on drugs or anything else. So I got kind of put in that position. And when I got put in that position, I became the one who was making sure no one's hurt. And then now I'm making sure everybody's supplied so no one goes and hurt anyone, you know, get out of the way. You know, you can kind of trick yourself into situations.
Yeah.
You know?
And Miss Connie, when you say your territory, so in Savannah, there's an area that, you know, was it blocks with, like, it was an area where you sort of was under your jurisdiction, if you will.
Savannah, period.
Oh, okay.
You know, it's certain the worst areas is where I always, like I say, take my construction company and take my people, and that's who I'm coming to get to work.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So once you in that type of environment, you become your environment.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care where you from.
Yeah.
Once if you're in China, you're gonna start speaking Chinese eventually.
Yeah.
You know, and you'll try to help, but your help can come to a point where things can get to your head. You know, you know, power is something that can be held but not controlled. You know, so things, I say with me, I think that's what kind of got me out of control. You know,
and how long were you in charge, right? Like, how long? Like,
I was in charge for a long time before I got into any negative type things. Like I say, you know, it's not such a thing, but you would call most men call Black women like me alpha female.
Yeah.
So when you put in that position, you're going to have to thrive.
Yes.
And then I started having kids at a young age and rapidly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then I had these goals, so nothing was going to stop me. So, you know, like I said, from my background, my grandparents, Mr. Eliza Orr and Alberta Orr, was my strength. I was their baby.
Yeah.
You know, and I learned a lot from them.
Yeah.
And one of the things was how to be a leader. You know.
Yeah.
Going back to when I was in prison, like I said, I did the same thing. Started, you know, I made up in my mind when I was in the county jail, I have to prove to my children, this is not me.
Yeah.
This is not it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was hard for me to even look them in their face because I'm very strict about, you know, drugs, very strict.
Yeah.
My children, you know, I'm very proud of them. They did very good for themselves.
Yeah.
And I was a single mother all the time. Once I got a divorce, I refused to remarry or anything like that because I had 4 girls. So I didn't want a male in my house. Not saying I would pick the wrong male, but I didn't want to take that chance.
No, understood. Yeah.
So I made a decision to raise my children on my own, and doing that, being an African American woman and not with a college degree, you know, you have to be stern. You have to, once you set goals, you have to make those goals.
Was your divorce after incarceration or before?
It was before. It was long before.
Oh,
I used to be a professional model.
Okay.
And during that time is when I got a divorce.
Okay.
I opened up a wig. I used to sell wigs.
Yeah.
I used to do a lot of different things.
Yes.
This part of incarceration started in 2015. I got incarcerated in 2018. Doing that altogether, I only did 2.5, almost 3 years.
Okay.
The last 6 months was in the transitional center.
Okay. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
they sent me to a transitional center because I was constantly, you know, making waves.
Yeah.
So they really wanted me out of there. Gator Rivers, a couple of commissioners in Savannah wrote to here in Atlanta saying, hey, we need her home. She does these things. And they released me after 2.5 years.
Wow.
That gotta feel good.
Wow.
Now, knowing that they gave you 40 and you did 2.5 years, almost 3 years, you know what I mean? Like, that's not heard of.
Yeah.
My family has been sentenced to 30 years, right? And they still behind the wall.
Well, maybe we need to do something about that. That's what I do.
It's in the works, but I'm open to whatever. Like, you gotta understand, I'm a male. I'm a man and male that if you got something to offer, I ain't gonna do nothing but listen.
Yeah.
I've never been a guy that just be like, no, I got it under control, because I don't, or they'd be home. You know what I'm saying? So I don't got it under control. To go back to your story, number one, that's amazing. Number two, when you know that you're about to come home, what's your mindset transitioning to?
Well, my plan was immediately. I started one of my middle daughter. She started going to certain events for Mr. Gilgard, Mr. Carl Gilliard, which is our state representative. She started make sure I had the license, the contracts inside the jailhouse with the sheriff department. Me and my children are the team.
Yeah.
But you know, she started executing. So by the time I got out, girls was coming out, and my daughter was picking them up, taking them to our house, and I got a house in Claxton for the girls. Got the license, got the house in Claxton, and I still had a year to go. But she, you know, my daughter was at it. Her name was Sequoia Holloway, and then from that point on, when I got out, I did a lot of business with a lot of.
So is it 2022 when you came home?
2020.
2020, okay.
I came home in 2020, right in the middle of COVID. I did a lot of business with a lot of people who own convenience stores, like Arabs, Palestinians, throughout my time. So one friend of mine, he said, hey, he owned a lot of convenience stores. He's like, you promised me if you do any business this time that you're going to include me. So I told him what I was doing. He was like, hey, let's buy the houses, get these people in it. The program that I came up with, my company is Bill and Bridges Enterprises. I'm a private foundation, and I operate as a nonprofit. Bill and Bridges, we have a 1, 2, 3, 4 step that guarantee. I don't care if you've been on drugs for 20, which we have a lot of success stories. People have been on drugs for 20 years. Now they're making $100,000 a year through my program.
Wow. Yeah. That's awesome.
people, my program is surrounded by an individual. It's not a program that you say, okay, you go do this and then you do this and you do this, and everybody doesn't do the same.
Okay.
You know, when you come in, I get people I work with the county jail. I get people from out of incarceration. I work with defects. I bring families to housing. I work with juvenile court when children have to be removed from the home before they be placed in Greenbrier or children place. They come to me for 72 hours.
Do you have to qualify for your program? What's the qualifications for
qualification that you're fully ready, willing and ready. You know, my program is based on pure will. And I tell any judge, anytime someone comes to me, I want you to know they're not, from this point on, they're no longer going to be incarcerated. When you come to my program, Miss Connie is not going to babysit. What I tell you, you're out because that slot is needed. You know, now it's not you do something wrong, you're out. You know, because I work with counselors. I have counselors that would work with some, work with the people who come out of incarceration. I want you to talk to the counselor when you get out, see how we can put you in the stages of where you need to be. The first process is when you get out of jail or you come from defects, we put you in a house. I have houses that they have individual rooms. I have cameras in the houses so that the probation officer needs to see you, they can come stand out of study coming over. I make probation reports to the probation officer, so it won't be so much interaction. They need to be free. You know what I'm saying? Not living in that fear. The first part of you come to me, say you came to me out of jail. I'm gonna get you into one of the rooms, the housing. You get a job, you pay your weekly rent. Then I'll get you into one of the programs. You have to, after the job, I have a CDL program. I have a nurse assistant program, a construction program, an IT program, a youth program. I put you in one of the programs. I choose these programs because these programs can pay you $50,000 to $100,000 a year. You know, you don't want, even when you get out of jail, I would not allow anyone to get a job paying them no less than $15 to $18 an hour.
These programs that you're affiliated with, are they companies that you just got connected with, or
they're all in my company?
They're all your companies.
I hire people who had degrees in those fields. Mr. Calvin Lawrence, he is my CDL director. He's been through incarceration himself. He came in and students was graduating within 3 months. He made it 8 weeks. We got a 98% graduation rate.
Nice.
And I'll see it. We beat out Savannah Tech and Roadmaster.
Nice.
In our city.
Nice.
We do it very small. We have a small group. So that right now, this Friday, we're going to go into a lot of fundraisers this year coming up. Because we want to expand. We stopped the crime in our area down 70% within 2 years.
Wow.
We had that biggest crime, shootings, this is different things. Like literally when a shooting happens, I'll call Dietrich Leggett, he's on my board. He's my city council in that district. We be out there 3 o'clock in the morning with the parents, finding out what they need, what we need to do, finding out about the child, taking care of things. So Building Bridges does a variety of different things because that's what we need to make a change. You can't just say, I'm going to give them a job or I'm going to give them housing.
What up? It's your man Jay White, first name, last name. I'm happy you're here. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with me and I appreciate that. I want to welcome you to join the Crack the Code community where I wrap my arms around you and teach you all the ins and outs of federal government contracting, the middleman or middlewoman way. In my community on a weekly basis, you're gonna get a Wednesday night call with me. You're gonna get many courses and also training material. It's nothing like being in the community where everybody is joining hands, trying to learn the same process and get to this federal government contracting money. I'm gonna see you on the other side. Click that link right now.
You forgot about the person. This person is doing drugs. They could have been in a house before. You got to give them the opportunity to change their lives. So that's why we come up with the programs like CDL program, nurses assistant program. Those different programs pay you nice, decent jobs, so you can have goals to be entrepreneur. You know, you can make decent money, hold down your household. So like I say, with Building Bridges, you come out of incarceration, we put you in housing. Then while you're in housing, we get you a job. In the process, you're talking to the counselors. Then we start you in one of our programs. You have to start a savings account and a checking account. We have someone to help you with your credit repair. Then we go into home buying. This is you can be in the program from a year to 2 years. You know, it depends on how rapid rate you take in what you're learning, what you're gathering.
So all this birth from your time in incarceration?
Yes, it is.
Because prior to that, obviously you were doing construction. Obviously you were a leader, right? And the other businesses that you had. But this seems like now, has this been the biggest, being incarcerated, coming home, creating these programs and this big program, not, just program, this big program for these women coming home.
Men.
And men also, men and women coming home. Has this been like the new, I don't know if passion is the right word, but is this like the new purpose for just you and your family?
I'll say, like I say, my uncle was a civil rights leader, and me, my grandmother, she's always, like I said, she owned a restaurant, housing, the business part of it, all of that molds a child. Though you might see negativity throughout your life, the positive part is what sticks with you the most, because that's what makes you happy. So being incarcerated slowed me down and see what I could do to make a difference.
I like that.
It's always in you, like it's in him, it's in you. You want to make a difference, so you got to find that niche where it is. And spiritually, that's what led you here, right? Things just fell in place.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's what came with me. If you follow your instincts and your inner self, it just fell in place. I have a very unique program, and it's very successful, and thank God, that it is. But that's what I do. I follow God, my inner God, my inner self. I listen, I hear what's going on. I know from that, I know what you need. Like I say, right now we're beating on donations to get people to donate to come in, so we can get a broader span with it. We at this point are thinking about like expanding. I met Mr. Keith Strickland during the process of me growing as a nonprofit, and he was giving me the ins and outs of what I should be looking for, what I should do. Like he's here in Atlanta, so expanding, with him. If I need help, I call him. If he need help, he calls me. Like, I'm finna send somebody to you. Like, hey, I'm finna send somebody to you. So now we're going throughout Georgia. That's what it is. You have to follow your instincts. You have to meet people with the same goals. And though you bring them all together. And that's how we work. We're one. We have to work as a family. And that's what I do. I work as a family. I don't work just say, well, it's just like I say, Mr. Lawrence, I met Mr. Strickland. It's when you meet people and they have certain goals, you combine with them. And that will fulfill what your dream is, your happiness. A lot of people don't know that. Don't know how to tune into that. Like people say, get into your chakras, your inner self. But basically, that's what it's surrounded. It's surrounded, my goals surrounded figuring out who I am and using the abilities that I have as a leader. And instead of turning it into a bully, turning it into a real leader. Someone.
It don't seem like it took you long to figure out who you are. I mean, just listening to your story, right? Obviously, I'm just meeting you, but just listen to who you are, where you came from, how you started this, that, and the third. It don't seem like it took you a minute to find out who you were. Do you think that's a misconception for me, or did you just had to hone in on who you were? You already kind of knew who you were.
Where you're absolutely right. Like I started really young. Like when I had like I said, I had my daughter, I made a decision. Like this is what it's gonna be.
Yeah.
But I'll say, like you say, humming into my true strength of how I can turn it into helping others. You know, not just handing out pennies and quarters.
Yeah.
You know, but like really changing lives. So I had to find myself or how I'm going to communicate with you to do that. You know, a study just saying, you know, that's Miss Connie, ask Miss Connie, ask Miss Connie. You know, I already see it coming. And I already solved the problem before they walk up and you're like, oh, that's the witch. You know, I'd have been called all types of stuff.
Yeah.
But like I say, right now, what our main goal at Building Bridges is like raising money. We need to expand.
Okay.
We need to, you know, get other people involved, other nonprofits involved. We're having a fundraiser. We just sold out a show with Acute Reflections. When I say they are a fabulous group, oh my God. They also help nonprofits. They have a nonprofit that gives a compliment to the Tuskegee Airmen. They teach African American men how to fly planes. So they support that.
Yes.
And also in Bronx, they are also teaching entertainment and different things like coding and stuff like that. Like I say, getting other people who want the same goals. Not only they're doing things for themselves by giving out their gifts. One is a Broadway singer and the other one is a cello player. And they have this Harlem Renaissance. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like the 1920s. It's just and it's they're comedians also.
Okay.
And it's elegance all in one.
Yeah.
So once everybody found out we was having a show with them, we sold out so quickly. You know, at the Cultural Arts Center in Savannah. And I want to talk to Mrs. Strickland and maybe y'all bringing them down here. Maybe we can make arrangements because I've seen a lot of comments like, when are they coming to Atlanta? So we're going to work on that. But at this point, we're doing really well. Now we need to grow. We need to reach more people. And that's what my goal is now, because during this time, crime start going back up again. You know, when the elections changing over, when Christmas holidays coming.
Sure.
I want to be prepared to do it on a bigger scale. You know, so I do want to meet other nonprofits and other people like coming to Atlanta to expand what I'm doing.
Do you find it easier to be in business, like for profit, and figuring things out and getting people behind you when you're going for profit, then when it's like, all right, now I'm focusing on a community. I want to build the community. I have a nonprofit organization. I need your support. Like what, like being somebody who, because they ain't play with you when you was, you know what I'm saying, as a business person, right? Like what do you find, easier?
Well, you know what? I hate that, you know, people don't like you. You don't want to be political, but, you know, because of Trump, I'm a private foundation. A private foundation, if you don't know exactly what it is you make for profit. And you can operate as a nonprofit. So that's what keeps us afloat. Like my CDL school, we're the cheapest anywhere. But it goes into the nonprofit. So when I get contracts from certain places in the city, certain things like I got a grant for the youth program, things like that, I put it in, or the contracts I get from the Savannah Police Department, anything that I make money, I put it into my nonprofit. So it balances out. But for me to expand, I need to, you know, like I say, get more donations, and I want to work with other nonprofits throughout Georgia, not only just in my city. You know, we need to be a connection in order for us to say, you know, we're back again, like the 70s. We're back. We're back. You know, we're a family. We're doing this. You know, we got strong black men out here, you know, bringing us together. Podcasts. We have, you know, different people, Strickland with nonprofits. We're doing it. You know, it doesn't. your background doesn't mark you. What you do in the future is who you are. That's just a part of you that makes you stronger. You don't look down on yourself because you went through something. You ain't gonna be nothing if you don't go through something.
That's one of the things we like to highlight, right? Like talking about your background, talking about your past don't define your future. It don't even define your present if you don't allow it. But you got people that allow it, but we like to highlight individuals like yourself who didn't allow it. All right, this was my past. But watch how it mold and shape my future for something just much bigger and greater, because it's the greater purpose. It's always a greater purpose.
I'm so proud of all men, but mostly my black men. You must understand, they say our kids got ADHD and all these different things. No, that's energy. That's pure melon going busting through their bodies. So you have to now redefine ourselves again, and understand who you are, what your place is in the world, and me, as y'all say, alpha females or whatever, and the mean black woman. But, all of us have to understand that you need us and we need you. There is no alpha. There is strength.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Pride and strength. I'm proud of you. I want you to be proud of me.
Absolutely.
We don't need the world to judge us or categorize us. We
or try to divide us even.
Exactly. It's some beautiful black women out here, and I'm so proud to be part of that sisterhood. Be part of women's sisterhood, period. All races. But I stand very strong of who I am.
Absolutely.
And I am a black woman, and I'm very proud of anything I've accomplished, anything I went through. I don't look down on myself, and I will look down on no one unless they're looking down on someone else. I don't care who you are. You must understand that we've been through enough. We've been through enough. We have to love each other. We got to understand there's power in you and power in him. Everybody around us, we are family. And we got to get back to being a family. We got to quit saying words are powerful. Oh, black people ain't gonna stick together. Oh, black people, you can't trust it. You can't. We got to stop doing that. We are melanin beings. We have to say black people gonna stick together, and we gonna help other races too. But we're going to stay in power for ourselves.
I see why they got Miss Connie up out of there. She don't need to be back there. You know what I'm saying? She need to be out here.
Absolutely.
Man, that's whew. Yeah. Absolutely. No, that's good. That's good.
And what do you think it's going to take, right, to stop the crime, right? Because I think that we do the work that we do. Jay White, teaches government contracting, right? How to make money from, how to make money from the government, right?
I teach you too, Jay White. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I teach, entrepreneurship and financial literacy, because for us, when we think about crime, 9 times out of 10, it's connected to economics.
Yes.
Right. And so if we teach, right. So that's why we love what you're doing, right? If you teaching them how to get a job, CDL, if you teaching them how to sustain themselves, for themselves, then a lot of times the crime starts to diminish, right? So even when we go to prisons and we go to schools, we're not just saying, hey, stop the crime. We're saying, let us teach you how to make some money, right? Because we know that focusing on the money will eventually decrease the crime. And so, what parts, right? So, we're talking about specifically Savannah, but even all the hoods in America, right? How can we, create economic opportunities to make sure that we are sort of like lowering the crime rate?
Well, this is exactly how I did it. Like what I was saying, it's a lot of young boys. When I came home in my area, a lot of young men were around there in the area. So they were like, "Oh, I don't care about them, Miss Connie." So I went to their house. I said, "Let's go." I got a job for you, and I brought my young men with me before I went in there. I was like, "You gonna have to go." So you take them under your wing. You give them, make sure they get a job, because they hear you, but guess what? Time you say, I'm like, you can do this, Miss Connie. They hear you, but they don't hear you because they want to go eat.
Absolutely.
They got to eat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They gotta find us a place to sleep. So that's how we going to help them. You have to give them stability because they don't know how to go get it. See, you can tell them, but they don't know how to go get it. You know? So how I give them stability is I like, come on, let's get a job. They work harder than anybody that's been on the job for 20 years. Because I let them know that you're important. You know? Let them take responsibility for themselves. Quit criticizing. We criticize so much of each other, especially our young men. We criticize them, them churning, they ain't like they used to be. You ain't like you used to be.
Nah.
How could they be the same way when you not the same? You don't have, no one came, it's not 10 men came to you and say, oh, you need to start your podcast and we gonna sit here while you so and we gonna get Fred and them to come down, and they don't do that no more. You know what I'm saying? You have to stand alone until you meet Mr. White, you know, and then bring all us in. So now you're that old man and you're young. You know, so they get we're criticizing them too much when we know what's going on out here. This is 500 years of slavery. So how you going to ask someone that you know? That's just like asking somebody with a mental illness. You better do right. You shouldn't do that. If you've been through 500 years of slavery, why are you sitting up here saying, oh, he ain't no good? What you mean?
You're right.
He's in the matrix.
But then it get compounded, right? Is 500 years of slavery. Then it's Reconstruction, then it's Jim Crow, then it's mass incarceration, right? You know what I'm saying? Then it's redlining, right? Then it's gentrification, then it's police brutality, then it's domestic terrorism, aka KKK. Like there's so much that
on you,
that, like you said, and I love that example of like, how can you expect somebody with a mental illness for you to say, hey, you need to get right? And the thing is, when you have, especially us, with this compounded trauma that we didn't ask for. It was pushed on us
every day,
and it continues to be pushed
every
on
day.
us. And now you're saying, all right, you need to fix you,
and you should know better. And these neighborhoods, this and this and that. You know what I did when I got out? I went to the worstest neighborhood and took all the people who was on drugs, and gave them shifts to make sure they pick up the trash, morning time, evening time, night. Till the city had to come do the whole road, all the roads.
That's what I was going
to say. They did all the streets.
It take boots on the ground. Like the only way some positive, effective, quick change for long-term change, it takes boots on the ground. Because there ain't no way I can speak up here to talk to somebody down here. They be like, man, they ain't talking to me. They don't relate to me no more. Like, you know what I mean? And so it don't feel real to them. So that way, like you talked about earlier, Miss Connie, and when you're out the other. And versus until you go, like you said, I'm gonna go to your house. I'm gonna say, come on, let's go get a job. I got my people with me, so you got to come. You know what I'm saying? And that's when the real change starts to stay long term and not just a short, quick fix conversation. And then that boy or that woman go outside right into the environment and they can't remember nothing we said.
Exactly. How you gonna change? How they gonna change? Where they gonna go? When they go out of jail, they gonna have to go right back to the same family, go right back to the same friends. You know, so that's why I came up with building bridges to have housing. You know, sometimes people are not ready just to move into their house because they're gonna bring the people to their house. So I got a house with several rooms that we monitor them. We don't monitor them in incarceration. We monitor them and make sure they're psychologically ready. You know, if somebody need to talk to them, say, Miss Connie, I need so and so and so, and I'm saying, girl, I need it too. Right. You know what I'm saying? I don't pretend like I'm the counselor. I pretend like I'm here for you. You know, and we're gonna do this together. Miss Connie got her little hang-ups. You know, I need you just as much as you need me. You know, and that's the barrier you have to break. You can't just go in and say, well, I'm so educated. People come to me all the time and they're like, oh well, I need you, and they want to come work with Bill and Bridges. Well, I got a PhD in so and so and so on, and I have a so and so, and I went to so university. I was like, okay, I got a GED. Now, what exactly do you want from me? You know what I'm saying? What job position you want from me? You talking to somebody with a GED? You don't need. Tell me what you're gonna do to help me with these people. You know, tell me if I give you this job, what you're going to do to execute to bring them to reality, to be in reality that they really need this help. That's what I'm looking for, you know. And you know, I've seen people come in even when you come in my business, I make you an entrepreneur for yourself. I take up my program, and that's your program. The program that my CDL program is Mr. Calvin Lawrence program. Like I say, now we have 183 graduates, truck drivers we put out there, 183 within 2.5 years.
Yeah, that's good.
You know what I'm saying? From a small company that takes 10 to 5 people in a class, because I want them to have individual attention. So I have like 4 instructors, two or three of them in one class, 5 group over here, 5 group over here, and 5 group over here, and they learn the same thing, but everybody learns differently. Right. So they were like, Miss Nelly, why is your program so successful? That's what they always give me, these certificates and things like that. It's because everybody is different. Everybody learns different. You know, some people learn visual. Some people, when you're talking, some people hands on. So and you got to understand, as African Americans, that's how we learn. You know, so that's why the plan I came up with successful. I observe who we are as people. You know, as what we want, what we really want. We just want to be free. We just want to live. Most people don't want to be billionaires.
Yeah, they don't.
They just want a house,
absolutely,
to live, take care of the kids, go on a vacation every now and then.
And most people don't need billions, you know, because I think and that's the problem I think with social media, is that social media downplays a lot of the big stuff. Or it overplays a lot of the big stuff, so it makes you feel like the stuff that you're doing is nothing, right? When you think, like, when I found out that the average American makes $40,000 a year, and this is the average American family, actually. So I'm not talking about individuals. I'm saying the average American, right? So there's 320 million people in America. The average family makes $40,000 a year. So when you go on the internet and you're watching people saying, yo, I'm 6 figures this, or 7 figures this, or billionaire this, y'all all lying. Right? You're all lying, because, you know, even for me, as somebody who I've generated millions of dollars as an entrepreneur, but the truth is it takes millions of dollars to actually do that. Right? And so when somebody say, yo, I'm a 7-figure business, okay, what is your profit though? How much did it take you to make 7 figures? You didn't profit 7 figures, right? Okay, yes, you got a plaque that says you generated $1 million, but how much money did you have to put out? You know what I'm saying? Put out there. And so if you start, I think that if we started saying those numbers, right? If a 7-figure business says, yo, you know what? I made $60,000 this year. I made 70, right? Because and so now if a lot of people did that, I think that now people would be like, yo, it's okay. Like I'm wealthy. Let me just say that, right? My life don't cost, like, I don't need my life. My best life costs $250,000.
Yeah, same.
I'm talking about my best life. I'm talking about I'm married. I got 2 kids. All of the great things, like the car I want to drive, the house I want to live in, the school that my kids go to. My best life costs $250,000. And so a lot of times, like you said, a lot of people just want the basics. Like, I just want to be able to feed my kids, right? I just want the basics in life, and that doesn't cost.
Not having to worry about money,
right?
To, like you said, crime is married to what? The downfalls of people not having money.
Absolutely.
Economics. That's it. So if I got the money, regardless of the dollar amount, you know, because like you said, your life, 250,000. Somebody else's life, 80,000. If they can get 80,000 consistently, man, they ain't got nothing to say.
Nothing to say.
They good,
right?
And then they can worry about continuing to build their mind, body, and soul,
and generational wealth for the kids.
There you go.
Exactly.
We have to get to a point to, like you said, it's okay to say I got a W-2.
Yeah. And here's the other piece where you just talked about generational wealth for the kids, because I think that if we lowered, right, and I'm not saying lower your standards, I'm saying just start with what you need, right? If you got to a space where you said, you know what, to live my best life, feed my kids, make sure everything, like, I don't have to worry about money. Let's say that's $60,000 a year. All right, now if you started at that baseline of 60,000, now when you start saying to yourself, okay, if I'm gonna do a side hustle or whatever, all of that extra money, now you can start figuring out, how do I invest this money?
Yeah.
Right? How do I invest the money? How do I get in real estate? How do I do the other things that's going to grow this money?
So that's exactly how it happens.
Exactly.
Like you said.
Yep. Exactly.
Most people who do that I work with and think that's what happens. They start, Miss Connie, did you ever hear about so-and-so?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you just, 9 months ago, you barely wanted to sit out the application. Now you want to tell me about the Bitcoin and this.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And you're not investing into it.
Yep.
Yeah.
You give a person an opportunity. You don't have to write their life story.
Yeah.
You just, all you have to do is hold their hand to the point where, hey, this is how you do this.
Yeah.
This is where you can go. Yeah. If we got to stand by each other.
Yeah.
And that's basically what I build my nonprofit around, letting them know what they need, what they want in life, and giving them a stable place, making sure they have a stable job to do it. And that's what make my honestly, my nonprofit so successful.
It sounds successful. It sounds amazing.
Absolutely.
It sounds like it's community pushing forward. I hear you saying you want to expand and grow. Just let us know how, we can help, at the Crime Pays family, just figure out how we can help outside of putting this conversation out there. Just what other ways we can help and join in to expand your company.
My website is BBBinsav.org. So I want you to take a look at it, and we'll see what all the stuff that we have done is BBBinsav.org.
And what's another way outside of the website? What's another way people can connect with you as well?
They can just call. My company is Bill and Bridges Enterprises in Savannah, Georgia.
Okay.
Just look us up. You give us a call. Like, hey, we family now.
Yeah. It sounds like when I pull up this event, I just say I'm with Miss Connie.
Y'all was with Connie. Look,
I was Miss Connie.
I was Miss Connie.
I'll take you.
And we're gonna put all the links in the descriptions. We're gonna put the links in the description. So make sure y'all check it out as well. Support what Miss Connie is doing. What advice would you give? Right, a lot of our audience are people who are formerly incarcerated, trying to figure things out, or people who are about to be released. What advice would you give them?
I would say do your research of nonprofits and different companies that is helping people who coming out of incarceration.
Yeah.
Do it now.
Yeah.
Go to your family, whoever you have, go to the kiosks, to the whatever you have, PayPal, go on your website and literally type in people or things, companies is helping people out of incarceration. Yeah. Start preparing yourself for housing. Yeah. Don't just say what I'm going to do. I got to give me a job. I got no place to stay. There are people like me and other nonprofits out there that are giving your housing. Yeah. That's going to get you a job. Yeah. Do your research. Yeah. Don't be afraid. Make up in your mind while you're in there. I'm finna change my life. It's not about Bill and Bridges and Miss Connie or thing. It's about me, Yeah. But that the best thing I can tell you is use your resources. Go to your counselor. Tell them, say, go to your counselor inside your dorm and say, what resources do you have for me to get out that can help me with rehab and housing, that I don't have to be under that umbrella that I can't move or I can't do anything, that I can't grow. But find the resources while you're in there so you can prepare yourself when you get out. Because it's a lot of them. Yeah. It's a lot of, look at y'all here right now. Yeah. Y'all brought me here. It's a lot of resources out there. Yeah. They just have to do the research. Yeah. I'm going to find someone that would put it like a pamphlet and put them inside the prisons of our, like, here's this podcast does this. Yeah. Bill and Bridges does this. Yep. And so that'll be a pamphlet for when people are incarcerated, for them to come and look up, and they can give a phone call, start writing letters to us, to get out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nah, that's amazing. I mean, from 40 years down to 2.5 to down to an amazing program in Savannah. Miss Connie, thank you. Thank you for this conversation. Thank you for coming. Thank you for sharing your story. I want some more details later on from you though. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna front. I want some more details about you. But this was amazing. I appreciate your time and your energy for sure.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no, we appreciate you. You know, make sure, again, y'all tap in with Miss Connie, Crime Pays. We are literally helping our brothers and sisters who are formerly incarcerated or who are about to come home and their families. We want to help y'all thrive beyond the wall. This is another awesome episode of Crime Pays. I am Ash Cash, the financial motivator.
I'm Jay White, first name, last name, yo.
The king of government contracting. We're going to see you next time. Same place, God's will. Peace.
Peace.